Welcome back. Well, the day started off with the top seeds prevailing, but it has changed in a big way the last two heats. We've seen the number 1 and 3 fall out of the mix here at the Hurley Pro Trestles. Another big clash now. Joel Parkinson, who's making a charge up the ratings, up against Wiggly Dantas, who is struggling to really reclaim the form that saw him climb pretty high on the ratings in his rookie season. So this is an interesting heat. Another interesting factor is the fact that last year on the Gold Coast, Wiggly and Joel had that mix-up in the third round, the same round, and Joel ended up storming the tower.
Oh yeah.
After that that clash. And see how he got the edge, because they were both doing similar kind of surfing. But right now out there in the lineup, we're going to see a replay of this wave from Wiggly during the break.
Yeah, Wiggly Dantas, such a powerful surfer, and very, very smooth. So no doubt Wiggly trying to get a quick start on Joel, and that's his norm right there. That nice wicked snap, always throws a ton of water around. But you know, such a smooth, he's a smart surfer too, Ronnie. He always puts together the right move for the section. So, you know, it's not going to be a big score for Wiggly, but it's an okay start. And backhand attack from Wiggly again. That felt like just a kind of a little appetizer, and he dished out a solid 7 there, Ronnie. So here we go. Here goes Joel.
Let's see what he can do in response. Has a bit of work to do to get around this section. Fighting hard in the foam for a moment. He'll get out onto this green wall, but that wave just not lining up the way he'd like, so he kicks out.
Have it go down that way is like so special, and Gabriel's an amazing competitor. In the beginning of that heat, he was wearing me and like all over me, and it just started out like in fire. So I don't know, like double eights for both of us was so rad, and he came up short on that last one. I had to watch the whole thing from the sidelines, like, oh my gosh, I think he might have gotten it. And I think it got as close as you can get to not getting it, and he was laughing and wanted to shake my hand with 3 minutes left. I was like, dude, like, what are we doing out here? Like, there's more waves coming. So,
you know, he's foregoing or gave up the opportunity to surf in a QS event, so he did drop 10 spots. We just had a contest finish, and he's obviously chasing qualification, but I don't think he'll mind with his first round 4 appearance. The former championship tour competitor. During the interview, Joel Parkinson had this wave.
Wow, amazing opening carve there from Joel. I just love the way he kind of sits down on his carves. He always does it with a you know, amazing amount of grace. His arms always kind of flow through those carves, but Joel Parkinson, you know, a crazy power surfer. He really does rip through those carves. And you're going to see much more of an explosive effort from Wiggly. He's going to go more on a vert. He goes from the bottom, a sharp bottom turn, straight up into the hook, and then, you know, snaps it back around.
Now for some of those higher seeds that have been outside of that title race to bridge the gap. Here we go, some movement here. It's Wiggly Dantas taking off. That wind just picking up a little bit. But no problem for this man with some of the best timing on the championship tour. Just a couple of reasonable turns to get started. A bit more green wall here. And he just keeps that board moving through some nice little moves on the inside, trying to get rid of a 4 to increase his lead. Out the back, Joel Parkinson. He's eyeing off a wave with potentially some better wall to work with on the outside. Just keeps some flow from that first turn, and then really commits hard to a big carve. Working this one over. The wave starting to stand up once again, and Joel's got some real opportunities here. He drifts that tail, just gets a little stuck behind it. There was a bit more wall to work with down the line. Oh, probably just sucking in some big breaths because he did a fair bit of work on this wave.
Oh, this is just textbook. And again, Joel always makes his maneuvers look fluid, but right there, that is crazy to have that much speed through that carve. You know, that is picture perfect from Joel. Unfortunately, he didn't have a lot of flair to finish, just a solid little off the lip. So that might keep the score relatively in check, but I want to say the judges will eat up that carve. A much different effort here from Wiggly. Just a couple of kind of quick cracks of the whip, but didn't really have that oomph that Joel had on that carve. So I'm guessing this is just going to be, you know, an okay score. So Joel could turn the heat right here.
Just over 13 and a half minutes remaining. One of the things that can obviously take a surfer to an amazing finish on the leaderboard.
Particularly on one turn. The wave prior with Wiggly, he got a 6, even though he had more turns than Joel. So the judges really eyeballing the quality of maneuvers, which is always nice. Wiggly just took off on a wave, kind of searching under priority.
And now these veterans like Joel Parkinson, Mick Fanning, Kelly Slater, they have an opportunity to really close the gap, get themselves right up there on the ratings. Here's a replay of Joel's wave taken during that recap.
Yeah, Joel Parkinson under priority, just trying to find a score to back up that 8-point ride. So he's going to have to go back to work here, leaving the door open.
And Wiggly making his way back to the takeoff zone. He's out there getting in a position for this one. So a bit of a flurry of rides. Joel actually had one, which we'll try and bring to you in a moment as well. Well, that one's not going to pan out for Wiggly. It's probably not a bad thing that he fell on that first turn, because that wave just tapered off pretty much into flat water straight away.
He's trying to get out of there. And it looks like Joel actually found another wave. So again, he's on the hunt, trying to get rid of that 6.3. He does not want to hang on to that. He knows that's what's leaving that door open for Wiggly. Really nice snap there. There's that flow that he's known for. And that's the progression. Much like Mick Fanning, Joel Parkinson, when he wants to really kind of throw that X factor at the judges, he lets his tail fly. A perfect, strong carve. So, lowers is just so awesome that way.
Well, this heat is coming to a close. The hoot is sounding, and Wiggly Dantas doesn't get a shot at that near-perfect ride. He was after a big one, a 9.23, because Joel, well, he put together another great heat with a couple of excellent numbers, an 8 and an 8.23. He's moving on to round 4.